Hello, this is Dr. Yum. We have learned the geoprocessing tool, right? So we learned how to click, how to do intersect, how to do union, and previously we also learned how to make the buffer and then selective allocations, right? So the first video was kind of like the simple example with like the circle and the square. But let's try to apply those kind of the tools on the real data set. So let's say like this. My boss said he wants to see a map of the Connecticut County landmarks located within 0.5 miles from the older highway passed through the Connecticut County. And the boss wants to see the result with a map and then some necessary tables. And then he gave me some details like how many landmarks are within the 0.5 miles highway buffer, and then landmarks belongs to which cities, and then he wants to see those kind of stuff by the types of the landmarks. And then he also wants to see he also asked me to organize the data through the Excel. And lastly, he wants to see which part of a highway belongs to which cities. So this is kind of like the basic requirements that my boss asked. So maybe in the future you got those kind of assignment from your boss. Okay, then now let's apply the geoprocessing tool on this assignment. Okay, so now it's at 0.5 miles. Okay, from the old highway. So it means I may need to create a highway buffer, which is a 0.5 mile highway buffer. So you learned how to create the point buffer, like the symmetric buffer. But now we can create a buffer along the highway. So you did not learn? Pretty much same. So I'm going to go vector, geoprocessing tool, and click the buffer. So then now highway here, I'm going to change the mile. So luckily we do not need to change anything here. I mean, if it is a degree, then we need to change like the special reference. But now I can see here the meter and miles. So I'm say 0.5 miles, right? Then at this moment, I'm going to click dissolve the result and run. Then now it creates those kind of the highway buffer. Let me put this down like this. This is highway and the 0.5 mile, 0.5 mile. This is total 1 mile. So I'm going to open the attribute table. Then that is just one single like the buffer because we selected the dissolve functions. So all the segment has been dissolved based on just one single attribute table. So then now let's take a look at here. So now we create a 0.5 mile. Then our next task will be how many landmarks are within highway buffers, 0.5 highway buffers. And then also we need to know these landmarks belongs to which cities, right? So now we need to think about this. How we can do this, okay? So what kind of geoprocessing tool we can assign the data? I mean city names. So now let's open landmarks, and then we need to see whether or not they have the city names. No, there's no city names on here. So in order to assign the city names, and what we need to do, do we need to do selective by location first, What do we need to intersect? Do we need to union? Do we need to like the using field calculator? There are several ways to do it. Okay, let's do it this way first. So now this is landmarks. So as I showed you before, there's no names, right? No city names. I want to assign the city name on these landmarks, like the here city, and then oh the city below this shopping center belong to what city. I want to see the city names on here. So we have here, if you see the Cuyahoga County cities, if I open it, oh, here's the city names here. So it seems like I can do something on this. Okay, so I can combine this landmark attribute table and Cuyahoga County. This is the Cuyahoga County cities, so the city name is here, and then this is the landmarks. I want to put this thing on here, right? So this is the what we want to, okay? So how we can do? There are several ways to do it. The first of all, we can go factor and geoprocessing tool and then go in the sections, right? So I'm going to input layer will be landmarks, overlay layer will be Cuyahoga County cities, right? So in the previous video, we intersect like the polygon to polygon, right? But you can do point to polygon and line to polygon as well. So I'm going to do this, right? So I'm going to click run, then close it. So now we got intersections, which is point. I'm going to open it and open the attribute table. As you can see here, so this is the shopping center and symmetry and green space, everything, right? It has city names on here, right? We're good. Then now I'm going to check this one. Then I'm going to, let me do this one transparent. Click OK. Then we can see here, as you can see here, we got landmarks on here, here, here. This is the under the buffer, right? Under the buffer, right? So then now what I'm going to do, I'm going to, we can do like the two different ways. So first of all, we can clip that the point file based on there's a highway buffer. So highway buffer could be a cookie cutter, right? Highway buffer can be cookie cutter, right? Then we can extract the polygon file, the point file, right? Also, we can do selected by locations, like the under this buffer. Then we can extract all these point file. So let's do the clip first. Vector, geoprocessing tool, and clip. Then input layer will be intersections, because we already assigned the city name, right? And overlay layer is buffer, right? So let's do clip and close it. Nothing changes, and I'm going to uncheck this one. So then now here we can see here everything is here. So if you open, so now we can see here all the 137 landmarks have been selected, extracted through the clips. How about selected by locations? I'm going to uncheck and turn on intersections. Then I'm gonna go vector, research tool, and select by locations. Then now we are going to select intersections because we assigned the city names are within. Then I'm going to select buffer, which is a highway buffer, right? Then I'm going to run. Closed. Then we can see here, if I turn off the buffer, so we can see all these yellow dots. Those are belongs to those buffers. Okay, within the buffer. So I'm going to open intersections attribute table. Open it. Then we can see like the 137 landmarks have been selected, right? Then you select it, you highlight them, right? Then I can Control C. You can just Control C, or you can also use this one, copy the selected rows to the clipboard. So I just did. You can do Control C, or you can just click this. Then I'm going to open my Access spreadsheet, and then Control V. Then I'm going to delete this. Then I'm going to make it a little bit wider and click this, and then Shift Control hold down and click the down arrow, and then you can do this. So now here I do not need this. Delete them. Then I will say this is type, this is city, right? Then I'm going to say count and 1 and 1. Then I select them, double click them, right? And now I'm going to select the city and count, then Shift Control and then press down arrow. So I selected all these data, right? But we also need to select types as well. We select like this. I selected like this. Then I'm going to click the Insert, Pivot Table, and New Spreadsheet. Then now I'm going to check Type, City, Count. Right? Then let me move city, and type will be on here. Right? Then we can see here. So Beechwood, 1 cemetery, no city hall, and green space, 2 shopping centers. So grand total is 4. You can create those kind of tables. So we are already did this part, right? Also we did this part. So now we need to do this part, right? So the reason that I clip this one, right? And I'm going to right click and go to property. Now then we go here, categories. The values will be types and classifying, and okay. Then as you can see here, right, then I'm going to like this. So you can see here And also this buffer could be, you can change like the, click this, let's see, colors, something. Okay, let's make just a hollow. I mean you can do whatever you want. And 0.5, something like this. Apply and okay. So we can see here all these things, right? So I mean I'm doing like this, but for you, you need to make it pretty and then make it understandable, right? So then now our last one will be this part. Both wants to know which part of the highways belonging to which cities. So now I'm going to see here buffer, open the attribute table, but it's just one single. So what if we need to assign the city names on the buffer, right? But now it looks like just one single attribute table. Let's just try it. Okay, so I'm going to go vector, geoprocessing tool, and intersections, and then buffer, and then overlay layer is the Cuyahoga County cities, and I run. Something happening, right? Then I'm going to open attribute table. Oh, here's a city. But the problem is it is only all the same, 271. So it's wrong. That is wrong, right? Before we see the highway, when we open the highway attribute table, there are many segments, right? Many segments. So we need to assign the city name each segment, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this intersect, remove the layers. Then I'm going to go to vector, geoprocessing tool, and buffer again. I'm going to create highway here, and then 0.5 miles, and then I'm not going to check dissolve result. So I'm going to create the line buffer for every segment. Okay, so I'm going to click OK, run. Then now we can see this buffer, if I open it, so it has all different segments. Then we can assign the city names on here. Then now we can do like the go vector, geoprocessing tool, and intersections, right? Then input layer will be this, overlay layer will be, so if you click this, the first buffer, second buffer, the first buffer, second buffer. So I select the first buffer, then I select Cuyahoga County cities, because we need to assign the city names on the highway buffer, right? So I'm going to run. Then close it. Then now this intersection, I'm going to open it, so we can see each segment has a city names on here, right? What we need to do, we are going to Control all, so we select all, and Control C, and then we are going to go our Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to click new sheet here, Control V, right? So then now I just make it a little bit wider. I don't need this. Do it then. I need this too. Okay? So I will say highway, city, segments. I will count 1, 1. This is the same as count. Go like this. Then I'm going to select this data. Like this. Then I'm going to click insert, pivot table. Okay. So then now highway, city, segment. Then I will say highway will be on here. Something like this. Right? So you can see here, like the Beechwood, like that there are 61 to 71 segments, and there are 45 express lane segments, and total is 106. Right? So now we may need to put this table and what is this? This table. These two tables is kind of the necessary tables, right? So let's do like this. I'm going to copy this, Control C and Control V, and I will say landmark. Control C. Okay, then now so this is for you may need to create a table. This one, okay, this one is highway segments. So click this, new, and place a special values. So I'm going to do like this. So we'll say city, like this. So click and Alt Enter. So you can do like this. You can do here, make it green, and make it green. And you can do here in the middle. So this is also middle. Make it bold. Just make it pretty. Make it pretty, bold. So then I would say this is like the highway. So landmarks go here, and then city. We do here in the middle. Grand total will be in the middle. Right? So to make the same length like this. This one also make the green. Green. So now we created there's like some necessary tables. It tells you like the landmarks, and tells you like the highway, right? So you can see landmarks by types and by highway. Not landmarks by highway, the segment. So we can report this to table to the boss, right? Then I'm going to remove this layer because we already create the data by table. So what you need to do now, you need to put change the names, like go here, rename it like the highway buffers, like the 0.5 miles. You can see like this, right? So this one is like the going to go renames, like the landmarks, like the within 0.5 miles, something like this. Then you can do like the one down here. You can just change, if you want to, you can change those kind of things, right? Then you can just put some like the labels on here, to make it pretty. Then you need to do all the map element stuff, right? So that is pretty much easy. So remember, your assignment is not almost same as this, okay? But you will have the different data set, okay? This is tutorial, not the assignment, okay? So I'm going to give you the different line shape file, different like the polygon and point file, right? So you need to think about what kind of processing you can do, okay? Then pretty much similar to this result, like this. So you need to copy this thing and put this thing on your Word document and report it, okay? So this is kind of like your assignment example, okay? Remember, your assignment is not the same as this. All right. Thank you very much for watching.